Peter Wolfing. I am so excited for tonight's interview. He's out of the box thinking, and he has revolutionized the online home-based business. He will be bringing the thunder on tonight's show. Welcome to the show tonight. So excited to have you here. What have you been up to? What's been keeping you busy?
For me, it's always about growth. It's always about doing something new, becoming better every day than I was the day before. It's always a journey, never stopping. And many people, they graduate from high school or college or whatever. They slam dunk the football and they don't learn anymore. They barely pick up another book. They barely learn anything new. And it's just, hey, I have 20 years experience, but really it's 1 year repeated 20 times. So what do you get from that, right?
Wow.
So I think it's always I want to grow. I want to get better. I want to be able to leave a bigger mark and so on. So I'm always doing something. There's many people will come out and they'll say, well, what's your product? Oh, it's digital education. They're like, I don't get it, because they can't touch it, feel it, right?
Exactly.
So I want to touch it. It's not real unless I can put it on my skin or I can ingest it or feel it or touch it. Yeah, I knew that I had something. I didn't know what it was. Maybe as early as 5 years old that I can remember going to school.
Wow.
I would be buying stuff at the store, bringing it to school and selling it. And next day, come with different stuff, right? Bubble gum or whatever I would sell, right? And so I had something. I was always doing paper routes. I was shoveling driveways. I was mowing lawns. I was doing these types of things. And so I didn't know what an entrepreneur was. No one had taught me. I didn't really have a hands-on mentor. But looking later on in life at my early life, I noticed that my mom was really my visual mentor. When you're going through life, you think, wow, there's certain things that happen in your life. If you would have made a decision one way or the other, your life would be totally different. Is that what I love to do is I just don't want to know something works. I want to know why it works and the mechanics of how it works. So this way I can make it better and really learn why. In online business, it's okay. I can use this funnel, but how do you construct a funnel? Why do people respond to certain colors? Why does certain pictures do certain things to people? The length is, the length is mechanics, So when you have this knowledge of the mechanics of how things work, it's the boundaries that lift off of you because now you have skills. So if you're always trying to increase your skill level in whatever your chosen profession is, people will beat down your door to hire you because you have the skill. The more you do, the better you get, right?
Absolutely.
So with your online business, and I challenge everybody here to be able to always try to be better, figure out the way things work, do your homework. Don't take things for granted because in the market, you're paid in direct proportion to your skill level. Okay.
Yep.
You're paid in direct proportion to your skill level. So if you want to get paid more, be better. Don't wish for things to be easier. Wish you were better. Okay. Jim Rohn said that. Don't wish for things to be easier. Wish for you to be better. Right.
There you go.
You in turn get better. You get better at your craft. And you say, I don't want to worry about funnels and so on. Okay. Be a better salesperson. How do you talk to people? What do you say to people? How do you say it to people? For instance, there's a skill in sales. The world operates by sales. People might say, oh, I hate sales. But if there was no sales, the world would come to a screeching halt because everything comes through sales.
Yeah.
And whether you know it or not, you're in sales every single day of your life. And for people, when they say, oh, I'm no good at sales, and I said, you're great at sales. They're like, what do you mean? Well, so every day you're selling yourself on the fact that you're no good at sales, so you must be great at it.
Absolutely.
And you're buying it, right?
Exactly.
So in sales, there's so many different nuances to show you how intricate a sales process can be. Because sales is not so much trying to slam dunk somebody on something. It's more about persuasion and influence. Okay. And so if you were to ask me, hello, pick up the phone, and I say, hey, Marcy, this is Peter Wolfing of Multiplex Systems. You would think nothing of it. If you're listening, oh, okay, that's fine. But in the sales process, when you teach people correct technique and also the nuances of neuro-linguistic programming and the way people hear things, if I say, hey, Marcy, this is Peter Wolfing of Multiplex Systems, you hear at the end how my voice goes up a little bit? What that does is that creates a subconscious question for you. And your subconscious is always trying to answer the question in the affirmative, which is yes. And you're always trying to get the person to say yes consciously and also yes subconsciously.
Wow.
So uptone is affecting you if I was selling to you, and you're doing that subconsciously over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15 minutes or so, and they're saying yes and yes and yes, and they don't even know they're saying yes. So by the time you ask them the question, the main question, well, they've already said yes 20 times.
Okay? In their head.
In their head, and the subconscious, and the subconscious dominates, right? So these little things, we're going to go into detail on the sales course I'm going to do. And so it'd be called vibrational sales. And so that'll be in the future, a few months. I'm still putting all the mechanics of it together. But that's just to show you that if you can get better at your skill level, especially in sales, and how to talk to people, how to communicate with people, these types of things, your income will go up geometrically.
Absolutely.
Instead of saying, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to, you're like, you have your text in front of you or your Facebook in front of you, and you shut people off where you don't get close to people. If you break that down and you're willing to talk to people, your income will shoot way up. And the process of sales is not a 4-letter word. It's something that you're showing people how to break through, because most of the time people need, as long as a person needs what you want to sell, okay, and they're just, the only thing that's stopping them from buying what they know that they should have is fear. As a salesperson, it's kind of like I call it the highest profession, because you're helping them get what they know they want if they didn't have the fear behind it.
There
right?
you go. Wow.
Right? So you're helping get by that fear because they know they want it. So if I'm showing them how to make money online and I know my program will help them, but the fear is stopping them, I'm doing them a service by getting them past the fear to buy my product. I'm not selling it. I'm breaking the barrier down to help them move along in their life, right? So all of this stuff is important, and that goes along with skill level, right?
That's so amazing.
And I've been doing this for 30 years, so my skill level is there. And just to let everybody know, it's a process. And you do it over and over and over, and you learn. You say, okay, I made a mistake here. You record, you get better, and then your skill level gets like myself.
That's phenomenal. One thing I love that you've said, I think, and this was in the Golden Gala Achille Awards back in 2018 when you got that award for the Performance 360 second edition. One of the things you said in that interview is, if you want to earn more, become more. I love that. That stuck with me. Yeah. If you want to earn more, become more. Yeah. And this all starts with, again, like you said, improving that skill level, becoming more and more and more within that specific skill level, and just, consistently just getting better.
Your goal is to become world class.
Yeah.
And in the professions that we have, it doesn't take that much to become world class. I'm doing, a 2-day workshop. It's $500, and they're like, oh, I can't do $500. I'm like, you're getting cheap on yourself. And I'm trying to teach you that lesson, that don't do what I did. And the stuff that I teach because I've done it. I came where you guys are. I've been through the gauntlet of everything, and I'm still here after 20 some odd years, 30 years, 29 years now, online marketing. And I didn't stop, but I've failed probably 100 times more than the people listening right here. So when I'm coming from personal experience, and that I'm one of you guys, I did it already. So trust me when I'm telling you, I'm teaching you, I'm telling you straight from the heart that that's exactly what I did. Try to do the same thing. You'll probably get as much or better results than I did. My sponsor quit in a few weeks. Their sponsor quit. Their sponsor quit. If I would have just said, well, they quit, well, I'm out of here, 30 years would have been gone, and I wouldn't have had the success that I had. But I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And what do leaders do? Leaders find solutions. And they say, listen, if it's not there, I'm going to build it. If it's not there, I'm going to create it. I'm going to make it because I made that decision to make it happen. And the solutions are there. I'm going to find it. So I went upline, found somebody. I would travel from New York to Albany, which, 5 or 6 hours on a Saturday to go get trained, because back then the internet wasn't there and we had to go do that. So in your business, understand that sometimes leadership is not going to be there and unexpected things happen. What was your original mission? What was your original vision? What was your original goal? Do it, because the answer is out there somewhere. Whether you're going to go and maybe tag team with a sideline that doesn't have any financial interest in you. Find somebody else that's willing to work together synergistically with you, or go to YouTube, find answers. Go to the company, find answers. The answers are there. The answer is not to quit. That's
Exactly.
not the answer. You sign up for a reason. You sign up with that company for a reason. Maybe you think it's the sponsor, but you saw something, right? So if the sponsor quits, okay, so what? Sponsorship and a sponsor is highly overrated. Highly overrated. Right?
Someone should type that in the comments.
Sponsorship is highly overrated. It's you are the captain of your own ship. Take charge of it, and just do it. Do it, and you'll become. Guess what? You in turn want to find a great sponsor, but why don't you become the sponsor you always wish you had, right? So this way, now people are going to come to you. Become the sponsor that you always wish you had, right? That people start beating their door down for you to be their sponsor, because you became the person you always wish you had, but you never did. It's almost like become the rich uncle you wish you had, right? Become the rich uncle you wish you had. Become the better sponsor you had, right? But that comes again that we went to before, which is the skill level. So
absolutely,
adapt and overcome. Things are always going to happen that are not going to work. The plan or whatever the plan is to accomplish the mission is usually probably not going to work. Then you improvise, you adapt, and you overcome. So I think Eric Worre said plan, do, and review is kind of similar takeoff of that. You plan, you do it, then you review it, see what works, what doesn't. Then you plan it again, you do a review, plan, do, review. And the same thing, improvise, adapt, and overcome. And then you do it again and again and again. And every time you do it, it gets better and better and better.
That's amazing.
It's instead of me trying to make the sale, what is it really that's driving me? For me, it was impact and contribution. I want to build something that had impact on a global scale versus me just doing onesie twosie with people. How can I make it bigger in 10x, 100x, 1,000x? So I said, okay, if I build a system that could multiply everything, and that's how I could do it and have grander impact. And yes, I like to make money, but that was a byproduct of that. So understand your why. They say have a why to make you cry, right? So why doing it is going to get you through, right? It's going to get you through this the inevitable ups and downs. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is understand the difference between your goals and your vision. Okay. What are the difference between goals and vision? A goal is like little steps along the way. I want this goal to accomplish this and this goal to accomplish this. Your vision is where if you can close your eyes and you can say, okay, I can vision what the house is that I want to buy, the grass that's underneath my feet when I walk, what are the countertops, things like that. How you can your vision is kind of like the verb of your goals. Okay, so it's the action steps of your goal. I love that
concept.
So it's like your GPS, right? Your vision is your inner GPS that's going to keep the goals on track, because the goals are going to go like this. It works. It doesn't. It's like slalom down a hill. You're going to go like this, but your vision stays solid here, and you're going to keep on going like this with the goals to eventually get you there. So your vision is going to allow you to say yes or no to certain things, because entrepreneurs have the disease that we all know. They never see a bad thing they didn't like. A good thing. Yeah. Everybody loves everything, right? I want to do everything. It's all, So
some of us call it shiny object syndrome.
Right, exactly. So, and I have it too, guys. I've just learned to curtail that by my vision. So if it's not part of my vision, then I know, okay, it might be a great opportunity, it might be a great company, but it's not part of what I want to accomplish, right? So I can't do it. So it'll keep you on the straight and narrow. So this way you're not doing a million things at once and you water down your success, or you water down where your ultimate vision and your ultimate goal happens to be. So vision and goals. And the last thing is to never underestimate the power of consistency, okay? To be consistent every single day. It's the little things that make you a lot of money. It's not winning the lottery. It's not signing up the big hitter. It's the little people. Well, not little people. Singles, double, triples. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's not the big hitters that you sign up that you may get every once in a while. It's the people that maybe have no experience, have little experience, and maybe a little more experience that are going to get going. So it's those little steps that you take, the little action steps you take every day that most people don't notice, So and it's the workouts that you go to the gym that most people don't even notice. right?
So the work behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. So it's consistency, it's the discipline to do the things that you know you're supposed to do, that you do, and eventually you do it consistently over time. And in Darren Hardy's book, The Compound Effect, he talks about that, where it's the consistency over time. He said, listen, most people out there are much more talented than me, and this is Darren Hardy talking, but I can outwork them. And because most people do the rabbit thing and they go zoom and then they stop. The consistency is this, right? And you can outwork people and you can out-consistent people, because most people don't have the consistency necessary for long-term success. So if you consistency over time and use that, even John Maxwell said, the leadership expert in it that I learned from him too, he said, if you can boil down over 100 books that are bestsellers on leadership, what will you tell people? He said, never underestimate the power of consistency. Every single day. He said, I wasn't a best-selling author overnight. I just did it for 50 years. Right. Yeah. And now he's authored over 100 books. He's in leadership. He's considered the world's leader on leadership and the best in the world. So, but he's done it over time. Now, I'm not saying that being successful in your online endeavor is going to take you 50 years, but even if it did, right? So what? Yeah. You're going to be 50 years older anyway, right? But if you do things consistently and you have all these other things I talked about, that 50 years is probably going to be a few years. And you're going to be older anyway. And I'll tell you, if you learn the skills of sales, you learn the skills of this wonderful online profession that we have, there's nothing that's going to be able to pay you better than it is here. Nothing. Wow. But if you just have lack of focus and you're all over the place and you don't have a good, solid vision, you're going to make mediocre money at best or nothing. And you're going to quit and say it's a scam. It doesn't work.
Wow. And then call it a scam, right?
Yeah, you call it, oh, this doesn't work. No, the business wasn't designed to work. It was designed for you to work it.
For you to work it. There you go.
No, business isn't designed to work. It's designed for you to work it, because the business doesn't pay you. You pay yourself according to who you are. And the business is just a vehicle.
Absolutely.
The vehicle to pay you. Not really. The company doesn't really pay you. You're paid in relation to your skill level and what you bring to the table, and the company just pays you the money based on who you are.
There you go. Right. Wow. And that brings us back to the value point. You know, you want to get paid more to become a person of value in whatever it is that you're trying to get better at. So your why, goals and vision, and consistency, your three major keys. I absolutely love the value that you brought. You brought the thunder tonight. You really, really did, Peter Wolfing. So TC Chambers says, practice in private gets rewarded in public.
Yes, TC.
Yes.
I love it.